Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Rabia Noor and today I along with my group members Taiba Mazhar, Aisha Murad, Hassan Kazmi and Shayan Aftab isn't available right now because his mother is in a serious condition and she's admitted in the hospital. So he couldn't come. We'll be presenting on the topic depreciation basis concept. In today's presentation, we will be covering accounting and tax depreciation, basis of calculation of tax depreciation, depreciation and tax depreciation rates, depreciable assets, written down value, initial allowance, and eligible depreciable assets, first year depreciation, and lastly, accelerated depreciation. Now, next slide, please. Starting with the accounting and tax depreciation. Accounting depreciation. In accounting, the depreciation is charged as per company policy in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards, that is IFRS, but accounting depreciation is inadmissible as per tax law. Now, what does inadmissible mean? Inadmissible means that the amount is not considered as an expenditure and is added back in the income. And the details of this were discussed by another group. They've given the presentation. Now, moving on to the tax depreciation, the income tax ordinance specifies policy and rates of depreciation, and the depreciation calculated is allowed as deduction from the taxable income. However, the depreciation calculated as per income tax ordinance is called the tax depreciation. Next slide, please. Now, moving on to the basis of calculation for the tax depreciation, firstly is cost. Depreciation is allowed on cost, and the calculation of cost is specified by law in different situations. Secondly, normal depreciation and initial depreciation. Normal depreciation is done on the depreciable assets, while initial depreciation is calculated on the eligible depreciable assets. Thirdly, reducing balance. Method of calculation is the reducing balance method. Fourthly, acquisition and disposal. The full year depreciation in year of acquisition, and no depreciation is done in the year of disposable. Now, I like Tayyiba to continue with the presentation.
Now moving on to where's the depreciable assets. A depreciable asset is an asset whose cost of purchase or its carrying value is written off over the asset's useful life. It is an asset that the business uses in its operations to generate income. Depreciation is not claimed on assets that are not used for business. The depreciable assets includes three types of assets that are any tangible movable property, immovable property other than land which doesn't has any improvement on it, and structural improvement to immovable property. The structural improvements on the immovable property includes buildings, roads, tunnels, bridge, fence, power lines, or any other construction or improvements done on the immovable property. Now moving towards the assets which are non-depreciable. This includes two different types of assets, the assets which are owned by multiple owners, or the assets whose deduction have been allowed under another section of this ordinance for the entire cost. The multiple owner assets mean that the assets are jointly owned by a taxpayer or an Islamic financial institution under Musharka financing. Uh, in this case, assets shall be treated to be wholly owned by the taxpayer. Now, I would like Aisha to continue.
Even though we all know what a depreciation is, depreciation means the decrease in the value of physical properties or assets with the passage of time and use. It is the non-cash method of representing the reduction in value of a tangible asset. Specifically, it is an accounting concept that sets an annual deduction considering the factor of time and use on an asset's value. Furthermore, an asset is depreciable if it has a determinable useful life of more than 1 year in business or something to produce an income from. Next. This is a pictorial, this is a diagram which shows how a depreciation is done. Next. Furthermore, I'll be discussing the depreciation as a deduction from the cost of an asset. A person should be allowed a deduction for depreciation of the person's depreciable assets used in the person's business in the tax year. It shall be computed by applying the specified rates against the written down value of the asset at the beginning of the year. Total deductions allowed to a person during the period of ownership of depreciable assets under Section 22 and Section 23 shall not exceed the cost of the asset, because otherwise the value would be negative. Full year deduction in year of acquisition, whereas now moving on, next. Now depreciation rates that are specified for the purposes of Section 22 shall be: building of all types should be 10%, furniture that includes fittings and machinery and plant which is not specified otherwise, motor vehicles of all types, ships, technical or professional books is supposed to be 15%. Computer hardware including printer, monitor and allied items, machinery and equipment used in manufacture of IT products, aircrafts and aero engines is supposed to be 30%. In case of in case of mineral oil concerns, the income of which is liable to be computed in accordance with the rules in Part 1 of the 5th schedule, below ground installations is 100%. Offshore platforms and production installments in petroleum oil concern is 20%. Ramp bill to provide access to persons with disabilities less than rupees 250,000 each. Can somebody explain the last one, the ramp bill? Point. Open question.
Can you repeat your question?
The ramp built to provide access to persons with disabilities less than rupees 250,000 has a tax rate of 100%. I think it's self-explanatory. Now Taiba will continue.
Now moving towards the written down value of a depreciable asset. Written down value is the value of asset after accounting for depreciation or amortization. In short, it reflects the present worth of a resource owned by a company from an accounting perspective. There are two ways of calculating the written down value. If the asset is acquired in the same tax year, we deduct initial allowance from the cost of assets, and if it was done in the previous years or any other case, the cost of the assets minus total depreciation, which also includes initial allowance. And on the other hand, as Fizan also explained, that if the asset is used for personal use and for the business use, so the whole value is included in the business. Moving on, this is an example which shows how the written down value is calculated. As we can see, the B7 cell shows the depreciation rate, B2 cell shows the cost of machinery, and the B8 cell shows the accumulated depreciation. And we have calculated the written down value depreciation using the written down value method. Now moving towards the initial allowance. Initial allowance is allowable at cost of assets if the asset is used for business purpose in tax year which the asset is placed into service of Pakistan, or which commercial production is commenced whenever later. Moreover, the amount of initial allowance of a person shall be computed by applying the rate specified in Part 2 of the 3rd schedule against the cost of asset. Here I would like to ask everyone, can anyone tell me what is the Rates specified in the part 2 of the third schedule.
Or
What?
rate for what?
Rate for any asset.
Depreciation
For
rate.
initial allowance?
Yes.
I think it's
Plants.
25%.
नहीं,
Yeah. Yeah. Moreover, for
15%.
what?
Never mind. कुछ नहीं, कुछ नहीं.
Moreover, the rules of Section 76 shall apply in determining the cost of an eligible depreciable asset for the purposes of this section. Now Hassan will continue with the eligible depreciable assets.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm going to continue with the eligible depreciable assets. Then I'll be discussing the first year allowance, and lastly I'm going to talk about the accelerated depreciation. So first, coming to eligible depreciable assets, the first question which comes to our mind is that what is an eligible depreciable asset? So an asset which provides an economic benefit for more than 1 year and its cost is gradually depreciated over the time to reduce its book value. So this is the basic concept behind the eligible depreciable assets. Now the next question is that how can we distinguish how can we differentiate between the assets which are eligible for depreciation and which are not? So all other tangible assets, then the following lies under this domain. The first one is any vehicle being used unless the vehicle is being used for hiring purposes. The second one is any sort of furniture, which also includes fitting. The third one is any plant or machinery which is already being used within Pakistan. And lastly, any plant or machinery for which you were allowed to deduct the whole cost of the asset in the tax year of acquisition. Next slide, please. So here's an illustration. We'll have a better knowledge of this concept by looking at this. So Mr. Ali Abbasi started business on 15th March 2018 and purchased following assets. These are the assets which he purchased at acquisition. So in year one, that is, you can see a plant and machinery, land, building, furniture, and vehicle for staff. So you can see in the first column there are values which for which he purchased those assets: 5 million, 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, and 1 million for vehicles. In the second year, there are some additions in some assets which are given in second column, and third column shows us that is there any written down value for any disposed asset. So third column is about that. Now we'll look into it that how can we calculate the depreciation for all these assets. Next slide, please. Thank you. So here you can see this is basically a basic and generic format which you can use to calculate depreciation for such assets. So we'll look at it one by one and you'll get better understanding. First of all, you can see in the first line shows the cost. It's 2 million for land, 5 million for plant, 3 million for building, furniture for 1 million, and vehicle for 1 million. Then we apply the initial allowance rate. Remember, according to tax ordinance allows us to charge a 25% initial allowance for plant and machinery, and it is not applicable in the case of furnitures and vehicles. As you can see that not allowed are written against them, and there is a 0% initial allowance which is provided on building, although it doesn't make any difference, but due to some legal bindings we have to show this in our calculations. And obviously it's not applicable in case of land because land is not a depreciable asset. So first we'll calculate the initial allowance. It will be we'll take 25% of 5 million for plant and machinery. Then in next step we will calculate the written down value after initial allowance. It simply means that you'll have to add if there is any initial allowance in the original purchase price of the asset, then you will have the you'll have to deduct it from the original purchase price. Like you can see that from 5 million we deducted uh, 1250,000, and we got 37 lakh 50,000, sorry. And accordingly we have different figures. Then we'll apply the normal depreciation rate on different assets, which is 15% for plant and machinery, 10% for building, 15% for furniture, and 50% for vehicles. Then accordingly we'll calculate depreciation, and we'll finally, in the final step, as you can see in G, that we simply subtracted that depreciation amount from the written down value of the assets. Similarly, in the next year, the opening balance of the current year will be the closing balance of previous year. Like the figures which we have calculated in first year will be the opening balance of for this year in this case. So next we'll see that is there any asset purchases. Yes, there were many. You can refer to the question. So we'll write it accordingly. Then we'll take into account the disposal written down value, which is given for one item, which is furniture. We'll deduct it. Then, just like before, we'll first apply the initial allowance rate according to ordinance. Then we'll calculate initial allowance. Then we'll calculate the written down value after initial allowance by deducting the initial allowance from the opening balance.
Nisar, I have a
Then
question here. Is the initial allowance calculated on all the assets, or is it calculated on the assets that are added during the year?
sir, it's I was explaining that first we have an opening balance, then we add, if we further purchase any asset, we add that amount into our opening balance, and then we apply the initial allowance.
My question is that is the initial allowance
can I
calculated?
answer?
Yeah.
Sir, initial allowance is deducted once when the asset is purchased, and after that, if there's any addition to the assets, then we will deduct the initial allowance again, but it's actually deducted once when the asset is purchased and not again.
So
Unless if
in case of year 2, the initial allowance of rupees 500,000, is it calculated on the total written down value, or is it calculated on the value of asset that is added during the year?
Sir, which is added during the year.
Yes, exactly. So ये concept अपना clear कर लें कि initial allowance जब भी कोई asset add होगा, चाहे वो किसी साल में भी add हो, तो उसका 25% आप straight away ले लेंगे. तो इस केस में year 2 में जो 500,000 initial allowance है, वो 2 million के जो assets है, उनके ऊपर लगेगा. जो 3,187,500 है, उसके ऊपर नहीं लगेगा. Means written down value के ऊपर नहीं लगेगा initial allowance. Initial allowance हमेशा जो assets add होते हैं, उनके ऊपर लगेगा. जैसे ये 2 million add हुए. जी.
सर मैंने यही तो कहा है कि इनिशियल अलाउंस एक ही दफा लगता है शुरू में जब एसेट परचेज होता है.
Very right, very right. ठीक है. जी निसार, please continue.
So then we'll just apply the normal depreciation rate, which is 15%, 10%, 15%, 15%. Then we'll calculate normal depreciation, and finally we are going to deduct this depreciation amount from the written down value after applying the initial allowance, and we'll have the closing written down value at the end of year 2. So
Okay, यहाँ पे stop लगाइए जरा. मेरा question है जी, who are the students that are left? Just let me see. My question is from Ali Javed. Ali, can you hear me? Ali Javed, can you hear me? Ali is not there. Awais, are you there? Awais is also not there. Misbah Mazhar, are you there?
अवैस और अली और रोहेल की क्लास थी सर वो.
Okay, चलिए ठीक है. Misbah, are you there? Maham, देखे ना ये जो बच्चे. अमन दुरानी, are you there?
सर हम तीनों हैं इधर.
Okay, my question is from any one of you. जो कि कौन है, नाम बता दे अपना. हाँ बेटा, मेरा आपसे क्वेश्चन ये है कि ईयर 1 के अंदर डेप्रिसिएशन का टोटल अगर आपसे पूछें तो टोटल डेप्रिसिएशन कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी प्लांट एंड मशीनरी के केस में. प्लांट एंड मशीनरी की टोटल डेप्रिसिएशन बता दें मुझे ईयर 1 की. कौन कौन सी फिगर्स को ऐड करके आएगी.
एक सेकंड सर.
सर आपने क्वेश्चन क्या पूछा सर?
मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि ये आपने चैट में या किसी को टेक्स्ट करके नहीं बताना, लेट हर डू।
सर नहीं
मेरा
बता रहा
क्वेश्चन
सर
ये है, मैं
मैं।
रिपीट ये करता हूँ कि जी आपके ईयर 1 के अंदर प्लांट एंड मशीनरी की डेप्रिसिएशन की फिगर अगर ली जाए, टोटल डेप्रिसिएशन की वैल्यू कैसे कैलकुलेट होगी प्लांट एंड
सर
मशीनरी
मैं
की?
बताऊं? सर राबिया।
नहीं राबिया, आप ऑलरेडी 2-3 क्वेश्चंस का आंसर कर चुके हैं, क्योंकि मैंने इन बच्चों की मार्किंग करनी है तो दे हैव टू आंसर।
अच्छा
अगर ये नहीं कर
अच्छा
सकेंगे फिर आप जी बेटा।
Sir, normal depreciation plus allowance,
नॉर्मल डेप्रिसिएशन प्लस कौन सा अलाउंस?
initial allowance.
हाँ तो कैलकुलेट करके बताएं कौन कौन सी फिगर्स को ऐड करेंगे। नॉर्मल डेप्रिसिएशन भी आपके सामने है, इनिशियल अलाउंस भी आपके सामने है, कौन कौन सी दो फिगर्स को ऐड
Screen
करेंगे
load हो रही थी, एक सेकेंड।
जी?
स्क्रीन लोड हो रही थी, एक सेकेंड। वन टू फाइव जीरो जीरो को करेंगे और 116250, इन दो को हम ऐड करेंगे तो टोटल
1250 और दूसरी कौन सी फिगर होगी?
562500।
ये कौन होता है भाई प्लीज?
इनाम बता रहा था सर।
इनाम भाई आप जरा खामोश रहें। जी बेटा बताओ।
तो 125000 वाली को 562500
चलें गुड, शाबाश, ठीक है। इनाम आप ईयर 2 का बताएं, ईयर 2 की कौन कौन सी फिगर्स ऐड होके टोटल डेप्रिसिएशन कैलकुलेट होगी प्लांट एंड मशीनरी की?
सर ये 2 की सर, एक मिनट सर, 500,000 प्लस
ओके
703125।
वेरी गुड, शाबाश, वेल डन। दोनों के 0.25 मार्क्स लग गए, फाइन, ठीक है। आगे
Thank you, sir.
कंटिन्यू करें निसार।
Next slide, please. Deva, move the slide, please.
ओके, बाय द टाइम ये स्लाइड अगर मूव होती है,
Deva, move the slide.
जी
So next, while talking about first year allowance, there are some situations pertaining to an industrial undertaking in which first year allowance is allowed. Instead of initial allowance, it includes plant, machinery, and any other equipment which can fall in any following domains. The first one is set up in specified rural or underdeveloped location, engaged in manufacturing of cellular mobile phones. And while referring to its treatment under clause 126 and part 1 of second schedule, I want to ask all of you a very basic question, that what is the basic difference between an initial allowance and a first year allowance? There's a very basic difference. If anybody can tell me, it would be appreciated.
Initial allowance is charged on every start of the year.
Yeah, yes, you are right. The initial allowance is applicable on more than 1 year, but the first year allowance is only subjected to be charged in the first year. Yes, you are right. So I will write this clause for you, which is 126N, which states that profits and gains derived by a taxpayer from an industrial undertaking duly certified by PTA, which is Pakistan Telecommunication Authority, engaged in the manufacturing of cellular mobile phones for a period of 5 years from the month of commencement of commercial production. Apart from that, in expression of this context, it says that provided that the industrial undertaking has been set up and commercial production has been commenced between the first day of July. These dates are very important to concentrate on this. It should be commenced between the first day of July 2015 and the 13th day of June 2017, and the industrial undertaking is not formed by the splitting up or the reconstruction or reconstitution of a business already in existence, or by transfer to a new business of any machinery or plant used in business which was being carried on in Pakistan. So this is the wording which deals with this first year allowance. The second statement is from under section 23A, which states that a deduction allowed under the section to a leasing company, investment bank, mudarba, or a scheduled bank, or a development finance institution in respect of assets owned by them and leased to another person shall be deducted only against the lease rental income derived in respect of each assets. So this section particularly deals with those companies which are engaged in some sort of leasing agreements, or they are engaged in mortgage financing, or they are even using derivatives to finance different assets. So this section particularly approaches them, or how they are going to treat their assets. So next slide, please.
Nisab, we have just 3 minutes left, so you have to move quickly.
Sir, sorry sir, मेरा internet थोड़ा issue कर रहा था. I'm saying accelerated depreciation. First, we'll discuss definition, then its purpose and its treatment under section 23B. So, accelerated depreciation, it simply means a method by which the book value of an asset depreciates at much faster pace than it will be depreciated by using conventional straight line method or diminishing balance method, or even using Macker's rates of depreciation. In order to motivate companies that they should invest in alternate energy projects like hydroelectric energy, geothermal power, biofuel, green energy, government usually allows them to charge a first year allowance against their property, plant and equipment. So companies can also claim a first year allowance of 90% if the machinery equipment are set up within the geographical boundaries of Pakistan and managed by a company. And apart from that, section 23B particularly say about this in these words, that a deduction allowed under this section to a leasing company, investment bank, mudarba, a scheduled bank, or a development finance institution is in respect of assets owned by them and leased to another person shall be deducted only against the lease rental income derived in respect of such assets. So this is against the same case which is going to deal with the leasing companies and other companies which are dealing in this way. With this, I would like to conclude my our presentation. Thank you so much for your patience. Now, if you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation. इसके अंदर स्पेसिफिकली मैं फीडबैक ये देना चाहूँगा कि इस टीम ने तो एक तो ये है कि ऑर्डिनेंस को प्रॉपरली पढ़ा और ऑर्डिनेंस के मुताबिक ये सारी चीज़ें की, कवर अप की. नंबर 2 ये है कि इस टीम ने व्हाट दे डिड, मैं ब्लैंक स्क्रीन लगा दूं क्योंकि इसमें नंबर 1 इज दैट कि इन्होंने ऑर्डिनेंस पढ़ा. तो पहली इनकी प्लस पॉइंट ये था कि दे स्टडीड द ऑर्डिनेंस, रेलेवेंट चीजों को किया. सेकेंडली इन्होंने ग्राफिक्स यूज किए, ग्राफ उनके बिल्कुल स्टार्ट के अंदर डिप्रिसिएशन का ग्राफ आ रहा था. थर्ड ये कि इन्होंने जो स्ट्रक्चरल इंप्रूवमेंट्स है उसका भी बड़ा अच्छा ग्राफ बनाया और एक्सप्लेन उन्होंने बड़ा जबरदस्त किया, फॉन्ट्स अच्छे थे और इनकी पेस भी बड़ी जबरदस्त थी. सो प्लीज गिव अ बिग क्लैप टू देम.